So after 7th level training 158 industries, including yours, watching me right here, here are the 3 things that you want to look for if you want to make 7 figures a year as a sales professional, right? So you want to get into an industry where you have a comp plan that allows you to do that. Now, here's not what I'm saying. You're looking at your comp plan, you're like, there's no way I could ever make 7 figures a year, there's no possible way. But what if you sold 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than what you are now? Could you do it? Okay. You're starting to think now, oh, well, if I'm selling the exact amount now, of course I can't. And I'm not even saying just selling more people, but selling them higher priced products or services. So let's say you're an industry that has a whole product suite, but your average product order you're selling is $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever, but they have other product suites that are like $50,000 or $100,000, but you just haven't acquired the sales ability to be able to sell those. So that's what I'm saying. You want to be able to have, and that's part of it, like a product or service that has those margins. You want to look at that, okay? Now some of you are like, oh, I'm selling life insurance. There's no way I could do that. Well, what if I told you life insurance is one of the biggest industries we train, and we have tons of agents in that industry that make 7 figures or more a year, and they're selling stuff that's $100 a month, $200 a month, $300, $400, $500 a month, okay? So you want to look for a product or service that allows you, a comp plan that allows you to get to that level. And it could be high range products. Let's say if you sold in cybersecurity or medical device or something like that, where you're selling deals that are 6 figures or 7 figures. It could be all the way down to low price services. Let's say if you sold solar, okay, or you sold life insurance. I mean, we've even had salespeople sell cars that make around that 7-figure year range, and they're selling freaking cars. You know how many salespeople that do that? Okay, real estate agents. So you want to get into comp plans and products or services that allow you to do that. Which I will tell you, out of the 158 industries you're training, including yours, we have salespeople in all those industries that are making 7 figures. Not everybody, right? Because it requires you learning more advanced skills. More people are going to put in time doing that than other people will. You got to put in the work to do that. You got to learn how to help prospects overcome their objections. You got to learn how to get them to prevent objections from happening in their mind. You got to learn how to get them to lower their guard. You got to be able to learn how to ask questions where they emotionally want to open up. It requires dedication to acquire that skill level. If you just sit around and do nothing, you're not going to make that much money, right? Let's just begin. You got to put the work in, but more importantly than just working hours, you have to put the work in and doing what? Learning more advanced skills than what you have now. So look for that comp plan, look for the product or service, and this is the most important part. Who is training you how to sell more? Okay? If you want to make 7 figures a year as a salesperson, can somebody train you how to do that has never made 7 figures a year when they were a salesperson, like working for a company? Yeah. How could they? If you're being trained by a sales trainer who, when they were in sales like you are, when they're in the trenches like you, they're making 100, 150, 250, 300 grand a year, which is still good. How are they going to train you the skill sets and the sales ability to make $1 million a year if they never did it themselves? Or even if they made 700 grand a year, how are they going to train you the skill sets and sales ability to make $1 million when they never knew how to do it themselves? You see what I'm saying? It just makes sense, right? So you want to be trained by a sales training company or a sales trainer who actually made 7 figures in the trenches. I'm not saying in a business, because in a business they've got employees and salespeople doing that for them. But as an individual salesperson selling one-to-one, did that sales trainer, when they had a job, make 7 figures a year? Because if they didn't, how are they going to train you how to do that when they couldn't do that themselves? All right? So look for these 3 things, okay? 158 industries we train. Look for these 3 things. These are the most important things that you want to look for, okay? Especially right here. This right here sets you apart. Because if you have this and the company you work for doesn't have this and this, guess what? You're in demand. That means every industry, every company, every organization wants you to work for them because you have this. You have an advanced sales ability. Which of these 3 can you control as a salesperson? Which can you control? You can only control your sales ability. That means your skill level. You alone can learn that, you can control that, and you can transfer that to any industry. So in our sales Facebook, we have a Facebook group that has, 80, 90,000 people in it and growing at the time of me doing this video, all full of salespeople. And every time, we probably get about 50 to 60 new testimonials a day that our clients post in there, right? Oh, today I made this sale, and this month I made this much money. I've increased my income. I'm making 30 grand a month, or 20 grand a month, or 40 grand a month. I used to make 5, whatever they say. You know what the first question is? Those people in the Facebook group ask that person that posted the testimony, because they're not clients. They say, oh, well, what industry are you in? Because they think it's what? They think it's only the industry, that's the reason why they make 30 or 40 or 50 grand a month. But the problem is, they'll be like, well, I sell life insurance. And the average life insurance salesperson might make 3 or 4 or 5 grand a month. So how are they making 40 or 50 grand a month? See, because of their sales ability. They've acquired this skill set, and they can go anywhere in the world and sell anything and be at the top. This is the most important thing you have to acquire if you want to make 7 figures a year in whatever industry you're in, or if you want to go to an industry to do that, you have to have this. If you don't have this, let's say if you have a great comp plan, you have a great product and service, you don't have this, will you make 7 figures a year? No way in H-E-L-L will you even come close to making that. So to answer the question, what are the best industries to make 7 figures a year? The industry you're in right now. Unless you sell $5 door-to-door magazine subscriptions, you're probably not going to get there. The industry you're in now, because you got to acquire the sales ability and skill level. That's the best industry to make that money, because you got to acquire this first. Hope that helped you.